Hey guys, it's Stormtech here. Today I'm going to do a ride-along commentary and first impressions video on my VFR 750F. This bike is from 1991, so it's actually older than me. However, I'm glad to say it does hold up against modern bikes pretty well. This is the third generation of the VFRs, which ran from 1990 to 1993. That means it's the first iteration of the RC36 engine, widely renowned as one of the most bulletproof engines ever made. Of course, that means it has the gear-driven cams, which you will be able to hear in this video. The whine goes really nicely with the growl of the V4 engine. It always gets heads turning when riding past, as it's a pretty unique and fun feature. In this video, I'll go over what I think is good and bad about the 3rd gen VFR, so stay tuned if you're thinking about buying one, or if you're just interested in VFRs. As always, please give the video a like to support the channel, and if it's your first time here, consider subscribing for more videos like this one. So let's get into the most important aspect first, shall we? Is it fast? It's pretty fast. Considering this bike is from 1991, it does well for itself. It's putting out 102 horses and weighs around 230 kilograms wet. Let's compare that next to the modern VFR 800 from 2014 to give us some perspective. That bike has 104 horses and weighs about 240 kilograms. So, it's about as fast as the modern VFR then, right? Well, I'm gonna have to do a bit of a race with a buddy to compare these paper stats in the real world, I think. Maybe aerodynamics will put the modern VFR ahead, who knows. Subscribe so you don't miss that video. But yes, it's as fast as a modern VFR in theory. It pulls itself up the tachometer in a very easy to manage fashion with no jumps or flat spots. You'll probably end up there quite often as well, as the VFR sounds like an unleashed demon at higher RPMs, which as you can guess, is pretty addictive. Now I'd like to mention the handling and brakes of the VFR 750. I should first let you know I have a YSS shock on the rear, which is a decent budget brand, usually better than OEM. I'd assume most of these bikes would have had the stock one replaced by now too. I have stock front forks, which seem to be the weak point on this bike. Under braking, the front dips quite a lot. This wouldn't be a problem for most riders that don't hoon it around as much as me though. Also, when turning at lower speeds, I feel like the front is a little bit vague. However, that being said, at medium to higher speeds, the bike feels very stable, just like the 6th gen VFR, and turns into corners as you would expect a good motorbike to do. If the front forks were to go on this bike, I definitely recommend upgrading them to an aftermarket set. Since I mentioned brakes, I'm not getting much feedback from the rear either, especially compared to the 6th gen with its linked brakes, so I think on this bike I will mainly rely on the front. I consider the seating position a big part of handling as well, especially if you're the type to lean off the bike, for fun or for better turning. It matters. The seating position seems to be quite upright, almost like a naked bike. I do have 2cm bar risers on at the moment as well, which of course adds to that upright seating position. This makes the bike quite comfy and fits the Sport Tourer class pretty well. You could go long distances no problem. My knees also aren't hurting. I'm 6 foot or 183 centimeters tall, and I'm not feeling crunched up at all. There's quite a lot of room. Overall, I would say the VFR 750's handling is adequate. Not impressive, but nothing stands out as being dangerous or annoying. and that's comparing it to modern bikes. So for a model from 1990, well, I can see why these bikes have a fan base of people that appreciate good motors. As you may have seen, I've wrapped my VFR myself. It's not 100% finished yet either. I still have a couple stickers to put on. I did look online for custom fairings instead, but I couldn't find anywhere that does them for this bike. So if you have a VFR 750 or you're going to get one, keep that in mind. These bikes are old, so finding replacement fairings from drops isn't going to be an easy or a cheap task at all. Now, what's this bike become famous for? Of course, it's the gear-driven cams. The gear-driven cams whine on top of the V4 engine note go together in such an interesting way. It's like a symphony. It is quite unique. There aren't any other bikes that really combine those kind of things. The only thing I can think of really is other VFRs, maybe the VFR VTEC has some kind of interesting gimmick, and the supercharged bikes such as the H2. Almost no other bikes have something cool like the gear-driven cams, and well, I'm going to play you some clips, just have a listen. But just before that, we're going to take a word from our new sponsor. Dream Depiction's personalized fantasy portraits are the ideal gift for Valentine's, an anniversary, or birthday. Printed on high quality canvas with unlimited revisions, they have a great selection on sale now. Plus, they help support the channel. Get yours today at dreamdepiction.com. Free delivery and an extra 10% off the whole order by using the code STORMTECH. So, is this bike value for money? I'd like to refer to the age-old saying about VFRs. Whatever you paid for it, you got a good deal. This VFR cost me £1,400. It has all new brake discs, pads, shock, fork seals, brake lines, radiator, tyres, and so on. VFRs are almost always owned by older riders that know what they're doing with their bikes, and they take good care of them. There are plenty around as it's a very popular model of bike and they last forever. All of these things make it very cheap to pick one up. So for a decently quick, bulletproof, reliable, iconic bike, I'd say the value for money is amazing. In conclusion, I'll firmly say this bike is fantastic for the price. There are definitely more capable bikes out there now, considering this is 30 plus years old. But those bikes will also be considerably more expensive to purchase and to maintain. The gear-driven cams and the V4 layout is fun, which is a big part of being a biker, right? The sound is great and the engine is eager and ready for your inputs. She can keep up with modern bikes no problem and will even be faster than a whole bunch of them. This is one of those do-it-all bikes you can get for commuting, touring and for twisties fun. As always guys, thanks for watching. Please give the video a like if you made it this far and subscribe for more VFR 750 content soon. Here's a couple of videos for you to watch next. Until next time, StormTech signing out. Peace.